Knock, knock. I'm going to let myself in. Hey, guys.
Hi.
All right, everyone. Welcome. We wanted to bring you up here to see a special slice of the north side of the island. And just so conveniently, Maya and Eben were in town. These are the happy owners of this beautiful parcel. You have about an acre and a half up here, right?
Yeah, that's just this side, right?
2.4.
Yeah, 2.4 in total, including the one across the street. But it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of property here. And I wanted to just introduce you to the folks over there who are listening, because I know a lot of times people are wondering what it's like to own property here, buy property here in Belize. And then, of course, we're about 16 and a half miles north in the Los Robles area. So we know that this area is not for everyone either. How did you decide on this area? It's just a bunch of questions that I'm just throwing at you right now. So feel free to go and we'll go from there.
Well, so it actually was something, it was easier for us because we found you right away. So it's nice to have somebody that is aware of everything and able to help us with our simple questions that just kind of made things a little easier for us at first. And then I think we looked at a few condos, but we really liked the idea of owning land. And here in Belize, owning land for expats is actually something that we can do instead of just ending up kind of renting it for 100 years or whatever, right? So it was a really good way of being able to diversify investments, if you will, and be able to make things just kind of the way that we wanted to own our own property. And then I think, Eben, you were the person who really kind of chose this area.
Well, I mean, you talked about diversification. And this is much more fun to look at than the stock ticker, for one. And it's a lot more fun to visit. Every time I come here, I'm speechless.
What drew you to Belize initially?
That was me, yes. So I have always had a soft spot in my heart for Belize. My parents owned some property in Costa Rica. And so, I had been there, but just the way that Belize runs, the fact that it is still less of like a touristy place in some areas, there's still more culture. The reef was a big draw. And I think, honestly, it was just something that I've always been interested in for so many reasons, wildlife. And then when we started doing research, we realized that it was something that would be a very positive thing in terms of the tax structure, in terms of owning land, in terms of everything else. And so it just made beautiful sense.
Yep, it's true. And diving, right? The diving and snorkeling. I know you like to get out there, and the reef, you were just out there a few minutes ago.
And to be fair, obviously the mainland is a magical place, of course, as well. But we do scuba dive, and we went down and stayed in Placencia. But the reef was too far away. Right. So this is how we ended up with Rachel, how we ended up at Ambergris. And I mean, we can see the reef.
And we can hear it, which is amazing.
We were just out there earlier. I saw several large stingrays. It's amazing.
And so when you were looking at different areas on the island, right, because it's a big enough island where it's 26 miles long and then could be 3-4 miles wide at its widest point, we know a lot of the areas concentration is around San Pedro town, right? That's where the airport is. That's where the water taxis come into. And then you continue to go up northward and down south, just, depending on where somebody's looking. How did you decide on this area, though? Because it is a little bit more remote compared to other areas on the island. But what was it like when you came here that even drew you up to get to this area?
For me, land prices are a little bit less up here right now. And we most certainly, unfortunately or fortunately, are in the path of progress. But the properties are much bigger and more affordable. So you can secure your privacy, I guess, by buying a larger piece. And additionally, the marine preserve is here. So there's much less fishing. And much less traffic overall.
Well, and I think, we did tour around a bit with you. And I would say, we always had it in our hearts to be close to the reef. But on top of that, we aren't the people who are all about city life. We're not about, just kind of the draw that a lot of people do have to being in a busier area is not us. And so we liked the privacy because we can go there anytime we want, but then we can come here where it is more private. And yeah, I mean, with Secret Beach in particular, it seems like it was just busy, very, very busy, and a lot of more touristy types of things going on there. Whereas here, there's just more plant life, animal life, sea life, and culture.
Yes. Well, and you're starting now to build your house. We can start to see the frames of it here around us. I know this is something too that a lot of people wonder about, right? What is the building process like? And this was something I remember initially where you were talking about, oh, maybe we just do a little, Mennonite home or a wooden home up here, and then we can build something later down the line. But plans have pivoted a little bit, right? Because getting the right contractor and getting exactly what you want could be done now, right? Well, as we were driving up here, so folks, just to give you a bit of perspective, Maya and Eben have had the land here for about a year. And they've cleared the land, kept a lot of the natural trees, which I love to see because sometimes people come in, they'll just clear cut, throw white marl into it, right? But this is beautiful. And your land is high, it's elevated, so you don't need that fill or anything along those lines. But so they started to fill, or started to clear rather, we'll see that. And I saw as we were driving up the outlines, the bamboo sticks that have been laid on the ground, and it doesn't look natural. So I'm thinking you two are over here working on your floor plans, right? Walk us through the home. Walk us through.
That's correct. The goal is to get something as soon as possible. Obviously, we can add later. But just if you start to do the math, the cost to come and stay, you can probably get something put together. And of course, with time, home building costs are going to increase.
Yep.
So it seems like we should put it together. We decided on a concrete home, as that, we're obviously on the coast, so subject to hurricane winds. Although this coast is a good side for hurricanes because the strong hurricane winds actually blow that way to the northeast, whereas this is an eastern facing, or excuse me, a western exposed shore. So the hurricanes typically don't get too terrible here compared to Louisiana, Florida, etc.
Yep. And the reef protects the water.
Yes, and of course with the barrier reef, that really limits the storm surge and the wave action. So that's another reason why we chose Belize, because I guess no one wants to have their home destroyed, whether you're insured or not.
Very true.
So we actually are electing to, because of the views are so amazing, we're electing to build up. We're going to build on 10 feet of stilts. And then a 10-foot main floor, and then a 10-foot second floor, with the top of the second floor being a usable deck. So we'll be 30 feet above the sand that we're standing on right now, and it just expands the views, exposes you to the wind. It's wonderful. We kind of stole the idea from a house in town that we saw.
Right. Why reinvent the wheel when you don't have to?
Exactly.
We see a handful of homes along the coastline here. Pick and choose what you like and then implement it into the floor plan.
So what we're going to do here is, again, everything's going to be elevated by 10 feet. So we have a nice, wonderful, under the house space to store the boat and maybe a barbecue and so on and so forth. So to escape the wonderful sun. And this would be a screened-in front porch here that you see. And we're still up in the air on the interior floor plan. Again, we're doing pretty simple stuff here. But, kind of thinking that the bedroom area would be here, at least as it's laid out. The bathroom area here, and then a kitchen and a sitting area here, which, of course, we have a deck on top. So, I mean, in Belize, you don't really spend much time inside.
It's true. I love it. And I love the foresight to continue going up to have maybe a second floor and then the rooftop above it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, and originally we had thought about prepping the house so that we could build that second story, but then to just kind of bare bones the second story and have it done while they're here made sense. So then we started talking about all the different ways you could work it that way. So
Yep.
Yeah, and I figure I need a project once I retire and come here so I can finish the second floor.
And you're at 3 years and 9 months until
3
retirement?
years and 9 months. and 2 days.
And yeah, how many hours? Tell me, what color are you planning to paint the house?
Periwinkle.
Periwinkle. Why periwinkle?
It's my favorite color.
I love it. I love it.
And you can get away with it. In the United States, you might be the weird neighbor, but in the Caribbean, you can do all the fun colors you want.
It'll blend right in. Maya, you going to add any colors to the trim or anything?
I think just white.
I love it.
Just white.
Oh, it's going to look so beautiful. I'm excited to follow the journey, too, to see how it all progresses and transpires. And then that very first time you're back when it's done on the rooftop, popping some champagne or the land sharks, rum, whatever you prefer.
There'll be a party.
Yeah, there'll be a party.
We'll have the neighbors. You met the neighbors.
Oh, yeah, you have met the neighbors. I know we met up with them yesterday, and they're like, oh, do you know this person? Do you know this person? This person lives up here. Have you met this one yet? So you're definitely getting to know the people up here, which is a great thing to do.
That's very important.
It is important, and it's easy to do because everybody is outside. So.
It's true. It's very true.
And friendly.
Yep.
And friendly, for sure.
I love it.
It is unreal.
Not too bad, huh?
That's why I said I had to have the blue water. The blue water is everything to me, and it takes me to another planet almost.
That was the whole thing when we came up here. He was like, that's what I need. So.
And it's not just one shade of blue. You have quite a few shades.
All the shades.
All the shades.
Blue's a close second to periwinkle. And periwinkle contains blue.
Right. Okay. All right. I love the considerations there. I love it. And if you're not going to be able to have periwinkle water, you might as well have a periwinkle house.
Yeah, I'm not sure we want periwinkle water. There may be problems.
Right. Exactly.
At least on this planet.
That would be really weird.
But yeah, look, you guys, you can start to see the
emerald,
the cobalt blue, the emerald, and the cobalt, which is a little deeper water with the white sand underneath.
Oh, I love it.
Just outside the reef.
And it's a special place up here. Right up the beach, we have Rocky Point, where the reef hits the land.
Yep.
And if we're quiet, we'll hear birds, and then you'll hear the waves. Oh, it's really, really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear that there's jaguar, there's deer.
Deer.
All sorts of really amazing animals that cruise this area. Because I think, actually behind us, we're about 4 miles to the bay.
Yes.
So it's the most densely populated, as per wildlife, piece of the island up here.
And back there, they also have the dirt, so that's nice because you can grow your own plants.
Yes.
Too. Whereas here in the sand, there are only certain plants that will grow, but back there in the dirt, you can grow a lot more.
Are you planning to do some gardening over here?
Yes. Yeah, I think that, just being able to grow your own tropical fruits and spices is awesome.
Did you hear something? Evan's telling us to be quiet over here.
Look at the water there. Sorry. It can be off right now. Oh, you can't quite see it, Rach.
No, I'm too short.
You need to walk up just right here, but look at it. Like just peering through there. You can see that blue.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. But I still think
Yeah. I hear you. That's why having the height on the house is important, right?
Right, of course. He'll still be able to see more, but at least we can get as close up as possible.
That's true. That's true, yeah.
Have you seen any dolphin yet?
No dolphins?
No.
Not yet.
No.
But we haven't spent very much time in the water, so.
Right.
But I saw like a juvenile reef shark earlier today out there, which was cool.
Oh my God. When you were snorkeling?
Yeah, I was just walking. But yeah, it was just literally like maybe 15 feet off of the front of the property, and he was chasing some little fish trying to have lunch, and it was awesome.
There's so much marine life up here. Well, and that's one of the benefits, right, of having the reef right there.
Yep.
Is you have all of the marine life that people come here for vacation to dive and snorkel and fish and to see. And this is literally your front yard.
Front yard.
Oh, it's incredible. You already going to go fishing, you think?
Absolutely. I'm gonna make my mission to kill the lionfish. There's a few lionfish around, and they're invasive species.
Yes.
But they're very good eating, so I can feel good about lunch.
That's good. I know Cynthia was saying Captain Sharks. You go to Captain Sharks, get your spear.
That's right.
Yep.
And who knows, maybe we'll come up. I know that you guys were picnicking over here when we pulled up, so we'll come back in a little bit and you'll be having the lionfish out and ready to go. You're not sleeping on tents here yet, though, are you?
No,
Not
yet.
We're staying down at Tranquility Bay.
I love it.
A few minutes down the road.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great place to be in the meantime as you're building and getting everything sorted up here. All right, so you have been landowners here in Belize for a year. I know that you spend time coming down, looking at properties, seeing them in person, right? Seeing if it's exactly what you wanted. Now, do you have any advice for anybody who is just starting that journey, just starting to look at real estate in Belize? This is a foreign country for them. Any tips or advice or anything you'd like to share with them?
The first advice I usually give people is to find somebody who is a qualified realtor like you, because the realtor piece is huge. It can make or break the whole experience. Yeah. Besides that, though, the main thing is that the tax structure makes sense. Everything is great for expats in terms of being able to own the land. And then on top of that, I would say that there's every different version of property that you can buy here, right? So you have condos, you have land, you can be somewhere close to town, somewhere up north where there's more nature and you're further away. So really, no matter who you are, it seems to make some sense.
Right.
Honestly.
Right.
Sure. I mean, research and deal with competent people, right? Yeah. But the research is the most important, and meet everybody. Don't come in and just think you're going to be able to sort of zero it in and maybe buy property like you would in the United States. It's really important to understand what's around you and make sure that you're comfortable with all of that. In general, Belize to me has come across as very friendly, very safe. It's different to navigate the processes, and they happen much slower. So, but with that said, again, Rachel's taking very good care of us. We have 2 properties here. We just received our first title. Our second title is due in, they said, maybe a month or so. And in our case, it's a little bit less than a year right now. So that's a pretty normal, normal from what I understand, length of time. But again, it's just dealing with the legitimate people and doing your due diligence.
And I think one thing that I will add is that when you came down, you knew that you wanted something. It was just finding the right property, right? And then when you found the right property, you were already home, right? When we found this one, because this one just happened to come back on the market, or the original buyer was not able to move forward, so we were able to come in and get this one. But even just the values of land since you purchased last year, oh my gosh, in this area, I think a lot of people now are starting to discover the North. And, there's Secret Beach now, the hype about Secret Beach. And Secret Beach is a great location and tourism destination, right? But if you want to get out of that and you want to be like the real Secret Beaches where it's quiet.
It's so quiet here.
Right? You don't have that music that's poof, 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 which is great for some people, right? But
Belize Secret Beach equals Miami.
And I would honestly say there's actually more for people like us. There's more to do up here too, because there is the reef and you see all of the, the wildlife and the marine life, and it's just more active on that level here.
Right.
So, again, if we want to do other things, if we want to be around people, we can go to town, but being up here and being able to have that at our front door is amazing.
Yeah, this is home, right? This is home. I love it. But I think that's the big thing too is, being ready to do something when you see it, because we're just seeing these prices go up.
Agreed.
Go up. And the time is now, folks. I will say that. I know every now and again we'll send Maya, when new listings come up in this area, we'll send her the price and see, yep, this one is like half the size of your land and it's double what you paid. So, it's nice to see that appreciation too.
Yeah, it's great up here. We've been nothing but happy from day one.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, I love it.
I mean, isn't there a listing just slightly north of us that essentially is triple what we paid?
Yes.
And it's just going to keep going.
And that's 10 months ago that we purchased this. So.
Yep. It's unbelievable, really. But, you guys did it right. You came down, saw it, felt the area that was right for you, and then full steam ahead when you found the right property.
Yep.
I love it. Well, I'm looking forward to coming back, and we'll say maybe about 12 months when the home is done, being on that rooftop and enjoying some more time together in the views.
Of course. Absolutely. And thank you for helping us get our slice of heaven.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. Well, I'm walking through this. I'm getting a little jealous. Really,
you can come anytime.
Oh, thank you. It really is perfect, right? You have 150 feet of beach frontage. You have the reef, you have Rocky Point, you have elevated ground, you have the soil in the back.
Soil, everything.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Yep.
If you do want to subdividide the other parcel, let us know.
I was going to say, but we'll talk about the part off camera.
Right. Sorry, folks, you're not included in that one. All right, thank you guys so much.